Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the iLeague Season 3 qualifiers here for North America. Thank you so much for joining us. It is Team Tinker versus Complexity Gaming here in this best of 3 series. And now, we'll be joining you here, presented by Beyond the Summit, for this best of 3 between these two somewhat North American squads. Complexity, mostly North American. Team Tinker, sort of North American as well. Pretty excited to get into the game, get into the action, see who moves on to the grand finals here in iLeague. Of course, those will be scheduled a little bit later in the week, as not today, who are playing up against Summer's Rift in the other side of the bracket are currently at MLG Columbus. And, well, they're not doing too hot, but that's all right. Maybe they'll have a better chance in iLeague than they will in MLG, although they're still looking okay. So, for the time being, Team Tinker versus Complexity Gaming, as always. I shouldn't say as always. It's been a while since I've casted for you guys here on Beyond the Summit. It's good to be back again, and for the first time here, I think, for BTS, I got my co-caster, my good friend Tralf. Tralf, how you feeling, man? It is Saturday. We're into the weekend. Hope you're doing well, man.
I'm feeling good. I want to make sure you can hear me. Am I good?
You're good to go, dude.
Okay, I switched the mic out, so I was just making sure. But yeah, I'm feeling good. It's been kind of a busy Saturday for me today, but I'm excited to cast this. It's cool to cast it. Also, a little of a change with the best of 3. You know, best of 2s are fine, but it's cool to see, you know, a full completion sometimes, you know, of 3 games. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We never get this BO3 kind of format. It's always like, all right, 2 games, nothing really on the line, maybe a playoff spot, but other than that, not really too much at stake, whereas it's kind of do or die for a best of 3. This is single elim, I think, and so the loser of this best of 3 is done. They will not move on to the grand finals. They'll be out of iLeague, the qualifiers at least. And Complexity have their hands full, man. I mean, Team Tinker, this is a team of all-stars. Complexity are good, and they've gotten very close to, you know, qualifying for the Summit. They almost qualified for Star Ladder. They played really well in those 2 tournaments with their new roster. But this Team Tinker lineup, man, it's the next big thing, I think.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me, and I think a lot of people watching, is like, who's playing for Complexity today? They seem to have a different roster literally every single day.
That's true.
And it stands true today. Last time I saw them play, they had Riser instead of Squee, I believe, playing support alongside with Fly, actually, and then Z-Freak was playing their offlane. And then Fly was juggling back and forth between offlane with himself and Z-Freak as well. So I'm not only is it which player is going to play, but what role are they going to play too? I've even seen Swindlemelons, their captain, who's normally their mid player. I've seen him play support. So it's just a matter of keeping the consistency there, I think, at least for the viewers' sake. But it's more important, I think, for themselves as a team. So that's something to look out for. Is, you know, I presume Fly. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I think Fly actually is a little bit stronger as a support personally, and I think Z-Freak is a little bit stronger as an offlane personally. So I hope they go that route again. I don't know for sure though.
I like Z-Freak's offlane play for sure. I have not seen Fly play support, to be honest with you, so I'm excited to see if he is going to grab that up. Last time Complexity played, I was casting, I think, the Summit qualifiers. I don't think Fly was playing for them, so it was kind of like, yeah, it wouldn't be an NA roster if we didn't have rotating lineups almost every day. I mean, there's 1 or 2 teams in NA that have a solid, stable roster, and that's about it. That, from what I can tell anyway, but that's just how it goes. And we also have a bit of a departure to what we usually cast, because we usually cast mostly European Dota. I mean, Team Tinker, we're no stranger to them, but Complexity Gaming, we haven't cast them in Dota Pit. They haven't been in Dota Pit since Season 2, so it's going to be nice to see what they can grab here and how they can play up against Team Tinker. And I think, honestly, Complexity have nothing to lose. They need to just throw everything out, because if you look at the betting, I'm sure it's like 80-20 or 70-30 for Team Tinker, maybe a little bit less, but they get the Sniper, which is a hot start. We'll see if Swindle grabs that for himself mid, and they get the Phoenix, which that is a standard Simba or Fly pickup. He loves playing this hero, and we'll see if they grab it for him in the offlane as well.
That's true. It kind of leads you to believe that Fly would be playing the offlane, but I really feel like they've gone through some peaks and valleys lately, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly what player or combination of players works best, because you just never know. But I really feel like Fly, when they played support for them, and not only for them, but I don't remember way back when he was playing support for Fnatic, he was actually a very solid support player. That's what he played all the way back in Han when he was very successful with Fnatic MSI. He played support for years then. Yeah. And, I mean, I know he can play offlane, and Phoenix is probably his hero. We don't know for sure yet, but I still think that he's very strong in support. So yeah. We'll have to see. But as far as just heroes and draft, it's going relatively slowly, taking a lot of reserve time each time. But Sniper Phoenix, of course, Complexity. And then the quick pickup for Tree and Quap. They also, it's important to note that they banned out the Batrider, which is a pretty good hero against Tree for two reasons. One, you can get rid of the refraction charges very, very easily on anyone you go on. So whoever you initiate onto, it's not like they can be saved by a Treant Protector. Very important point. Number two is it's very easy to take out the eyes if, for some reason, Treant was able to get a fast Eggs, which generally just takes over a game if he does get it fast. Another hero that's good against that, though, is the Phoenix, which is why they picked it up, I think.
Yeah, the Phoenix, I think, Sunray...
Also, did deny pick them.
Yeah, because the Treant and the Phoenix combo is pretty solid. Let's see, is it Sunray and Icarus Dive that take down the trees, or is it just one of the two? I can't remember all the time.
It's, it's both, I think.
Okay, all right, good. I'm showing... I don't know why, and then you mentioned Fnatic, and I'm like, oh yeah, he played support for that team that I watched like a ton of back in like 2 years ago, and then I'm like, oh, all right, well, either way, yeah, so I've seen him play support, but not with this Complexity roster. I'm excited to see if he does go for it, but more likely than not, I think maybe they give him the Phoenix. I don't know, we'll see, but because when I see Z-Freak, I usually see him get like the super let me head to the jungle and farm type of off lanes, like the Axe and the Batrider. That's what I've seen him on the most. So those are Z-Freak's heroes. He might be able to play Phoenix. I haven't seen too many of their drafts. They're going to grab the Jakiro, interestingly enough, which is another good hero against Treant Protector for the Living Armor. The Liquid Fire taking off the charges, which is pretty important. And Macro Pyre as well. So it's not a bad hero, but we don't really see it that often, especially in a support position.
Well, we don't know for sure what it's going to be. I mean, you remember back... few months ago, IG would run this as a one position a lot. I saw someone run this as a one position. I think it was actually in MLG. I actually didn't see the game, but I think I saw that the carry or one player was playing it, and I don't think it worked out at all. But I mean, to be frank, literally all of his abilities are amazing against Treant Protector. So this is a lot of hate against the Treant Protector, and that can be good. I mean, it pretty much renders his Living Armor useless. To some extent. I mean, obviously, if Jakiro is not in the vicinity, if he's not taking part in the gank onto said hero, then then Living Armor will still be effective. I think the biggest thing about Jakiro, and this is why he was so popular some time ago, also when Treant Protector was popular, was when he's such a good tower pusher. And it totally nullifies the ability to keep your towers up from Treant Protector. The reason why it wasn't picked up for so long, though, is because it made... in this last couple patches, especially this one, tower pushing isn't exactly the focus or the focal point for most players. You don't get as much gold for your supports. It doesn't spread around nicely. It's really not that important as it once was. Like, for instance, TI4 when people were first picking Rasta. So for that reason, Jakiro hasn't been as popular. But, you know, as far as counter-picking the Treants, the Complexity have done that.
Yeah, they've really, like you said, they've given some hate over to Team Tinker here, and that's not super surprising because Treant Protector has been played a lot recently. You're absolutely right about tower pushing. This is not a death ball type of patch. This is 6.83 has been all about let me get some late game cores, but more importantly, let me get those early team fighting heroes like Sniper and Troll that dominate and can take it to the late game as well, which Troll's not available, luckily. He is like 100% pick ban rate in the past couple of months, I think. Sniper is grabbed up for Complexity. No Shadow Fiend ban, no Shadow Fiend pick. Team Tinker like to do this thing where they pick the Queen of Pain, they put it in the safe lane for, say, Black, and then they send somebody for Quick for mid. And they might do that again here. We still have to wait and see. The draft has yet to be fleshed out. Complexity Gaming have 15 seconds left of reserve time. They also have another pick here that could be a support, could be anything really, because we don't, like you said, we don't know where every hero is going for Complexity. And that's the most interesting thing. 5 seconds of reserve time. They go for the line. That's definitely support, though. That's one thing that I can count on.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I have to update just because I think it's pretty cool, but MVP Phoenix did just take out EG in one match for MLG. So I thought that was pretty exciting. I just wanted to mention that real quick. I was watching the tail end because, you know, it was a very exciting game, and I had to watch the culmination. It's lucky that it's got over before this best of 3 actually went underway, but just wanted to mention that.
10 seconds
Lion
remaining.
picked up here for Complexity, so yeah, almost always going to be a support. I have seen mid Lion, and it's actually pretty fun because you get that finger up so fast, but doubt we'll see that here.
Time.
And I think it's going to be a support Jakiro as well, with the Phoenix on the offlane, as we were mentioning. So
yeah.
We don't know for sure, but it's most likely.
It seems, yeah, that does seem to be the most likely option here. I like how you just chime in there. We should have that like Sports Center thing or just like in regular sports where they'll give you an update, like on NFL Game Day, they'll give you an update every so often on what the other teams are doing. And I was watching a lot of the JDL, the MLG Columbus tournament, but man, I gotta say, poor not today, dude. That is rough. That's not great.
Yeah, it's hard to read into everything because we don't all know all of the facts. We don't know everything, so it's hard to make judgment calls too hastily. But it does suck that I think the biggest thing was it sucked for both them and Nip, because Nip was waiting there forever last night. They come in with their luggage still actually there. They have to play right away. They're probably under a lot of stress, I think is the biggest thing, which sucks. But anyway, Team Tinkerino go with the anti-fun, anti-mage, which is quite good against Sniper and closing the gap, especially if you pick up an Abyssal Blade at a relatively decent clip, because it just... If there's one thing that I've been taught, it's that anti-mage he never really falls off. Some people, at least in my opinion, some people think that in the late stages of the game, anti-mage will lose to other carries, but I think the fact that you can blink in, Abyssal someone, one hero, Manta, and then kill them so fast, and then also have the chance to passive bash after that, and lose all their mana, and kill them from almost full to nothing, even hard carries, keeps them relevant. And the person that taught me this was Illidan at D2L. The grand finals there. He would go with this very fast Abyssal Blade over things like your heart, over things like your butterfly, and it just destroyed. So I actually am a big fan of that.
Yeah, anti-mage, and Black's no stranger to it either. I mean, this is his hero, I think, at least in the Western scene. You talk about burning an anti-mage if you're talking about the Chinese players, but Black is probably, his anti-mage is most notable, I think, as his go-to hero. For CompLexity Gaming, they decided not to ban out their last hero. They didn't say anything in chat. It's just, I guess that's what's happening. I don't think he disconnected. There's nothing in Skype that I can see. So CompLexity just go for the good old, we're not going to ban the last hero. It's fine. And then they pick up the Juggernaut as well with their last pick. That is a last pick Juggernaut. Are you kidding? They went to freaking Big Lots for that Juggernaut pickup. That's insane. That is a 5th pick Jug. That never happens. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think they just ran out of time. Like I said in the beginning of this draft, both teams actually spent a lot of time. It's going to be a last pick Broodmother here, which I don't know. It depends. I think against very disciplined support players in the safe lane, Brood should theoretically get very, very little, even if it is, quote unquote crappy heroes against Brood. As long as you're very adamant about keeping your sentries down, and you keep your position and make sure that the second Broodmother comes in, you initiate onto him, then you can kill him. The only problem with that, though, is that yes, you can have the potential to kill him, you can have the potential to box him out and all that jazz, but you're spending the resources of 2 support heroes constantly to keep him in check. And it's just for a Broodmother who doesn't really offer that much in mid to late game. But for that reason, you want to shut him down, right? Because if he doesn't offer much in the mid to late game, and he really is strong in the early game, then that's the time that you want to shut him down. So just comes it comes to a point where how much do you value shutting him down, and I think you always should, because I think his strength is in the beginning. And it is going to be a Z-Freak on the Phoenix and Fly playing the support.
Yep, so they are... This is a bit of a surprise to me, because you look at Fly, and one of his go-to offlane heroes when he did play for a couple of different teams the past months has been that Phoenix. So they're going to send Z-Freak up there. This is kind of a far cry from what he goes for when he picks up an Axe or the Bat Rider, where he can just farm in the jungle, but that's not the case here. We'll see how it goes for the Phoenix. I do want to say that it feels like every time I see Team Tinker grab the Bulba Broodmother, it doesn't really work out for them. I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's 100% of the case, but it feels like this hero does not really work that well for them. So we'll see how it turns out for Tinker as we move forward. We will be seeing the offlane Brood, no surprise there. And then, Quake from mid. Pretty standard laning for the most part. Jug safe lane coming up for Ziz, and that's actually like one of the only heroes I've seen Ziz play is the Juggernaut. Like it's actually the only one.
I know. Like I think I've seen him play that and maybe Drow, and that's pretty much it. But hey, they got their comfort pick, and like you said, they went to Big Lots for it because they got it in the very last pick. So that's good for them. It looks like is going to be some contention up in the top rune. Many members of CompLexity were here ready to go, but the quick blink out from Anti-Mage was able to make sure. They're actually trying to progress onto Highlight Die. A couple auto attacks from Z-Freak. I don't think he's going to get this kill.
No,
but at least box him out.
He's going to waste a lot of regen here. He only has 3 tangles left. He's going to have to get 2 to get back up to full health, it seems like. Maybe just use it to 1. But for now, that could have been disastrous on Black. Luckily he goes for the blink first, obviously, and he stays alive. He probably held the point, I'm sure, but that could have been awful. They had living armor. No, not skilled up yet for the Train Protector. Wei2's kind of just holding this point for now, not going for anything. Maybe it could be a bit aggressive. Swindle in the middle lane has that early Wraith Band, the most common of builds, so you have that bit of extra right-click bit of extra base damage, and the good old Queen of Pain versus Sniper matchup. We've seen this from time and time again. This is like, it's kind of a... Team Tinker very comfortable with the Queen of Pain. It's also pretty solid against the Sniper, but Sniper should have a good time regardless.
Yeah, people forget that Quap is actually quite good against Sniper, and especially in the early levels, because if you look at the damage, she literally has over 15 damage onto the Sniper. So despite the fact that Sniper has good spamming, until you hit level 2 Shrapnel, it doesn't really do all that much damage. Like, Quap can literally just kind of sit there and take it, and just time his last hits a little bit better than the Sniper. So in the early levels, Quap should definitely have an advantage.
The Shadow Strike going to be pretty effective early on here. Quakefa going to be getting his bottle soon. For the offlane Brood, Bulba doesn't have any sentries. However, there's a sentry here for the Radiant squad, but it's kind of out of range. If he stays to the right, he won't be spotted out. So they just want to get spots of the Spiderlings maybe coming in to contest the pull. That might be one of the reasons why. Fly will pull it up early on here. Nothing really actually happening for the most part. It's just CSing back and forth. Black has 8 last hits, 7 last hits for the Juggernaut. Nothing too crazy. Meanwhile, Bulba got spun on, but actually popped to clarity, and he's gonna keep it for the time being. Fly might be able to get a right click or a dual breath. And there it goes. Doesn't cancel the clarity. Keeps it up, and he's still good to go.
First blood.
Oh my god.
The first blood, there you go, with the living armor and health, although I think he was fine without it. But giving him a little bit of a safety net there and gets a nice easy kill. And that's what I'm talking about. Quap definitely has the edge in the early levels of Sniper, so as long as Sniper could play it safe. And he gets a regen too to boot. Oh my god! Kicking him while he's down. That's gonna be really hard to come back in the lane too and see that. Ooh, I don't know how you come back mentally from that, actually.
Yeah, Swindle's like, all that time I spent at least taking down his regen, maybe I can get a quick return kill. That's not going to happen. Quakefa's just going to sit back, and he gets his bottle too.
Well, see, look what happens when the shrapnel comes out too. He can usually just deny the creeps, and he comes back not only to a regen with Quap, but the creep wave is on his hill. It's in perfect position for Quakefa to just CS and make sure that the Sniper gets nothing. So already we see 5 and 3 for the Sniper. This will be like 12 and 5 for the Quap.
Yeah, Quakefa's already off to a fast start, and Swindle is not having a great time. Swindle might be able to get back into it. Maybe Quakefa rotates early on, looks for a kill, but as it stands right now, the first blood is going to Team Tinker, and Quakefa off to a fast start. Top lane again, Black. It's up to 17 last hits, 19 for the Jug. A few of those could be Spiderlings, so something to keep in mind. He might be able to get up to some crazy amount of CS here with the Spiderlings if Bulba's not careful. Bulba's going to set them over here. Fly's going to go ahead and Liquid Fire them. Another thing is that Jakiro's pretty good in this role as well. Liquid Fire, Dual Breath, trying to take down some of these Spiderlings. Not too bad once he gets a couple of levels. They will have to be careful. The right click is ridiculous. Wei2's going to rotate bottom, looking for experience or something. He's level 2, hasn't skilled up his second point yet. Meanwhile, mid, they're going to jump in. Swindle getting low. The Shadow Strike. Quakefa blinks away, taking a lot of damage, but Swindle might even have to just back now. He's got nothing. He has no regen whatsoever. He has no bottle. He's going to have to go home, it looks like.
Imagine if Quakefa put a 3rd point into Shadow Strike just to pile on the hate. I think he actually gets the kill there. I've seen some Quaps do that, actually. When you have that much of a lead onto a mid-hero that, while can be very, very strong once he gets his levels up, is actually extremely weak. Something like a Shadow Fiend. But doesn't even matter. I mean, sending him back to base at this point is just as good as killing him. So he's completely dominating mid now. Wei2 picks up a DD rune. With this rune actually hitting for 160 plus damage, can probably net a kill on his own if nope, they actually see him this whole time, so they know.
Yeah, they have that Observer Ward. He has boots, but I don't think CompLexity are gonna get caught out here. And, yeah, Swindle's just gonna sit pretty far back for the most part. Quakefa has stayed in lane. He's ready to go. He has his bottle, his boots. He's got 700 gold. Maybe gets treads next. We'll see. Swindle's going to get some time to CS. He's missing CS, though. I mean, under the tower, it is kind of difficult, but this is not an easy lane for him as it stands. He's up to 10 now. He really needs to try to catch up with a kill. Meanwhile, Wei2's going to rotate into the jungle. They'll find Squin. This is a deadline, maybe. Earthspike's going to come out. Wei2's going to hit again, but no. Dust is up to Blade Fury. Wei2's about to fall, and Bulba going down. Ziz getting the majority of the damage there and the kill, but that last Spiderling. The last Spiderling comes up and takes it away. He thought for sure he was scot-free, and he goes down with the last auto attack. Are you kidding? That's ridiculous.
It kind of... I didn't see if maybe Juggernaut was in position to cast the healing ward all before that, like before he used his Blade Fury, because he was auto-attacking a lot. Maybe it would have saved it, but my god, with the last Spider. I'm wondering, did he res before that too? No, I don't think he got experience for that, but man, that's gotta hurt. At least he got those 2 kills. That's extremely important. You know, the funniest thing here is we haven't really talked about this, but Z-Freak has literally been cliff jungling this entire time with Phoenix. I don't really know. I mean, like we talked about too how he usually plays heroes like Axe who can have a great time farming. And I've seen him play Axe when he just goes straight into the jungle from level 1, and he'll be like level 6 by this point.
Yeah.
So this is not exactly the ideal situation for your Phoenix.
No, definitely not. This is not something that is really great. Koifu's going to jump on his Swindle. Another Shrapnel's going to go. The Hex is up. It was a bait the entire time. The Squid comes in from the backside and says, hey, listen, you're a frog, and now you're dead. And that provides so much for Swindle. He doesn't get the kill, but he gets a free lane for the time being. He does have a salve that he bought early on. That's how you know this lane is going poorly. He bought extra regen to stay alive in lane. He will salve up. He'll try to get up to maybe 20, 30 CS or so. All the meanwhile, Black is farming top. Bulba's trying to be annoying bottom, and he is. Fly is about to die, in fact. Spawn Spiderlings, easy kill coming out for Bulba on the Broodmother. Nicely played.
Yeah, that's really good. He's actually well on his way to his Midas, too. Black pressuring top really well. If Squeak could somehow leech enough to get level 6 here, he can actually net a solo kill up on the Black. Action mid. You get an easy kill on there too. Also, in the middle of that rotation on the co-op, when the Icarus dive happened, there was actually living armor, even though it was level 1, but it literally disintegrated. It like had absolutely no effect. So I mean, they drafted around that, but it doesn't really matter at this point.
Way too in this game is going to be like, how am I supposed to do anything, team? Like, the living armor is just useless. There's so many ways to cancel it, but he'll have other things he can do. We talked about, obviously, the Aghanim Scepter. He's really just been roaming. This is a roaming Treant Protector. He's not really sat in one lane. He's tried to leech experience here or there. He's gotten a kill or two in the process, but Black now up to 57 CS, and he has currently just the Ring of Health and Treads, which is still pretty damn good. And we'll see if he can get to maybe that 12-minute Battle Fury. He's going to jump onto Z-Freak. Is there a Mana Void? There is. Squee rotated in as well. They spotted him out. They pinged him, and they said, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to back away for the time being. And it looks like maybe a rotation here. Quickfoot finds Ziz. He's going to kill the Healing Warden. Well, that's it. That's all he does. That's all he accomplishes. It's like, well, I guess I'm all right.
Yeah, and with the rotations of the supports, too, that means that Bulba feels much more comfortable in the bottom lane. And this is going to be a tower dead in just a couple seconds. And so ZYZZ knows, or Ziz, whatever you say it, he knows he can't lane down there anymore, so he actually has to go to the jungle.
Bottom tower is under
this tower is now gone. That means that not only is the tower gone, Bulba has his Midas flying out as well. Before the tower was even killed, he gets a bit of extra gold as well. He is just being super annoying. You talked about how Broodmother's power curve in the early game pretty solid. Yeah, he's got to transition pretty well into the mid to late game as well for the time being. And Black, again, we've talked about he's farming well. They're rotating 4 heroes from CompLexity to try to do something against the Anti-Mage. They need a lockdown. They're going to find the Hex. But there's going to be a nice kinetic field. The Assassinate's going to go. It's not going to do nearly enough damage. Ice Path, Black, going to get help. The Sonic Wave comes in. Z-Freak going to go. He's going to try to TP. He might just make it away. No, the Thunder Strike comes in. They get the kill. Pilot Eye gets the double, but it turns into a 2-for-1 as Swindle does pick off the Disruptor in the end. Still a very good fight. He's going to buy back. He'll TP in. Way too coming through as well. No Leech Seed mana coming out. He's just 5 short. Koifu's getting low as well. Assassinate not going to go. The Glimpse back in. He'll try to TP. They have a Mana Void. They've got to pop it. They will. Black and a right click in. They grab the kill on Swindle. And the worst game of Swindle's life continues as he's up to 30 CS. He's died 3 times. He only has boots and 2 Wraith Bands. And they get so many kills up here for Team Tinker.
Yeah, and you know, the problem too is like, I don't think that even a ton of farm on Juggernaut can really help them this game, because you're going to have a blink away. You have double blinks on your team. Innate blinks. These aren't like we have to go farm our blinks and then we'll be fine. It's like they can blink anytime they want. So the Omni Slash is not very that scary. And even if he does get Omni Slash onto, say, a Disruptor, that's, you know, literally the Disruptor is like the only target for Juggernaut. And I don't think that's worth it. I think you need to get a big kill on one of the cores. I don't think that CompLexity should have gone for that before line hit 6. Like, he just dinged 6. They were asking for too much with very little damage. They're going to try to maybe get a kill onto the Broodmother here with Squeeze level 6. He does get the Dust off and a Hex. This could be a kill on the Broodmother.
Yeah, there it is. There's that finger coming through, and that's a sure kill. I mean, that's huge for them. That is a hero that's been really annoying. They don't get the kill on the Spiderlings, but Squeeze's got to take a lot of damage from these two if he's not careful. That, like, one attack from all of them just does so much work. Ziz will try to zone him out and take him down, but meanwhile, top lane, Black is just going to work. Battle Fury now, so close to completion. He is sitting 1,000 gold away from his Battle Fury, and that's probably 11, 12 minutes with treads. Very solid timing again. This is his hero. He knows how to farm, and they even get the tier 1 tower top as well.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That's actually really important too, that he gets the last hit on the tower. A lot of players kind of just like don't really care about the last hit on towers anymore, but it's actually kind of important, especially when the distribution isn't very good anymore. So it's actually pretty big getting the tower last hit. That makes it even closer for his Battle Fury, for about 400 gold. So like you mentioned, 12 minutes or so.
Ooh, Pilot Eye still alive, assassinate. He doesn't get it off. This creep's not going to kill him. The creep is not a hero. Fly's going to walk back in with Ziz. They drop the sentry down. They get way too. Not the best trade, though. At least Ziz gets involved, and he'll try to put pressure on the tower. The Sonic Wave coming in from Koikfa as well. Somehow, through all of that, Pilot Eye walks back home alive. And looks like he will be going for Yules. But now the tier 1 mid is going to go down. No deny coming out from Koikfa. Got close. Ziz pops the bomb. He does have his Omni Slash. Koikfa didn't have Blink for about 6 seconds, and that would have been a kill had he got close enough. But that wasn't the case.
That could have been really bad. If he was really fast and like anticipating someone to try to deny it and ran forward as the tower was about to die, that would have been a kill on the Quap. One of the rare ones that you could actually get. It could have been a mistake, but luckily he's okay.
Koikfa, wiping this sweat off his brow, is going to head back to the well and just regen. I mean, he needs mana. Sitting on a Robe of the Magi, probably going for, yeah, it is the Orchid as he picks up the Oblivion Staff. No real surprise. You might see Axe first occasionally.
Look at all the spiders bottom. Look at all of them. There's so many of them.
He's just dead. He's just dead. The Spiderlings are just going to come in, kill him quickly, and Bulba seems to be pretty happy with that. And Swiddle just has no room to work with. Whether he's top, whether he's mid, whether he's bottom, it doesn't matter. He's going to die in almost any lane if he's alone. And even with supports, he still might die. This sniper is getting destroyed. He's getting absolutely dominated by every hero on the map of Team Tinker. He died mid to the Disruptor. It's not looking great, man.
Bulba, he's trying so hard actually right now. He's like even denying every creep that he can with just his spiderlings while he's doing other things. Oh, the dust actually comes on to Bulba. He's going to get the finger off. I think Squee's going to die, but if maybe he can set up a kill, that'd be important. Does at least set up the kill, so it's a 1-for-1 right now. Trying to put some pressure onto Pink Panda, aka Way2. They don't see him, though.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. They finally dust. They should still get this kill. Living Armor's going to go. Leech Seed as well. Z-Freak might be in trouble. Assassinate. Ziz will clean it up. Z-Freak will TP out. Alright, so they get a couple of kills bottom. Squee gives his life away for a kill on Bulba, and then Way2 comes in trying to save Bulba, but that's not the case. It doesn't actually work out. And oh, man. Competitive Dota wouldn't be complete without some pauses, and I hope he gets back in soon. Oh, damn.
Well, it happens. Yeah. That was actually really nicely played by Ziz and Z-Freak. Nice quick TP out from Z-Freak, just fast thinking on his feet. A lot of players will kind of take a couple seconds to think about what they want to do, but he already knew what he wanted to do and had like his plan of action set out in his mind before he did it. So as a result, he gets the kill. He does it. He leaves unscathed. So nicely done by him, and that's a favorable exchange, except for the fact that you have to actually think about Sniper dying at the very beginning of that. So I suppose you can call it a 2-for-2, but I'll take that if I'm CompLexity.
Yeah. I would as well. I mean, any trade at this point, favorable trade. It gets them back up a little bit in net worth. I mean, they got maybe 1,000 out of that exchange. Some more room for Swindle to work. He does have his treads now, but it's a long road. He's sitting at 3.5k net worth. The next highest is Bulb at 5.5. So there's this big discrepancy. Yes, Ziz is the top in net worth, but it's not by much. He has something that he just bought. Oh, he's going Battle Fury. Ziz is going to be picking up a Battle Fury. It's a broadsword and a Claymore, man.
I like it a lot. There might be action top, but no. I was actually just going to say, first of all, I like that, but second of all, he's actually extremely farmed if you think about it, because the fact that we're praising Black for having a 12-minute Treads Battle Fury, which is very, very fast. It's very, very good timing. Better than normal, of course. But the fact that that's such a good timing, and the enemy Juggernaut had this much net worth on you is really, really good. I don't even know if a lot of that was actually Spiderlings. I don't think a lot of it really were.
No, I don't think
it's
so.
The fact that he farmed a lot and he has 5 kills.
Yeah, the 5 kills is really the biggest thing. That's what pushed him over the edge. Gloom's back on his Z-Freak top lane. They'll Thunderstrike him. He Icarus dives away. Flies nearby to help out as well. Looking for maybe an Ice Path. Not going to use it just yet. There's the Dagon build that I kind of expected from Bulba. That seems to be what he goes for. Even though when they do pick this hero in 6.83C, Team Tinker are 1 and 3 with Broodmother currently in this patch. Ziz picks up his Battle Fury. That is a 14.5-minute Battle Fury. Top lane, Ice Path. There's going to be the big ult from the Disruptor. Way 2 comes in with an Overgrowth. They get the Icarus dive off. They take one down. That's Disruptor. Quite heading out as well. Gonna blink into the backside. Screw of Pain. Squeeze getting low, but he's not dead yet. Survives with 5 HP. Fly's trying to get out as well. Ice Paths. Black has to juke it. Blink canceled. Mana Void blows him up. Turns into a 2-for-1. Should have been a 2-for-2, but Squeeze still alive. Swindle looking for more on the backside. Throws up a shrapnel, but will back away. In the end, a 2-for-1, although Bulba does secure the bottom tier 2 tower as well.
That's the big thing, is that trade is actually favorable for Team Tinker, just the fact that it's going to be much harder to actually farm in the bottom lane. Bulba's taking the entire jungle from them, pretty much. So, and the scariest thing, too, is because he's going for this Dagon build, he might actually be able to net kills on heroes that aren't Juggernaut. So,
the Jug is so damn farmed. Battle Fury... Mask of Madness, the level 2 Omni Slash, now he's level 13, and now you have to wonder what his next item is. Does he, like, just continue on the normal path of Juggernaut with, like, an SNY or Manta? Yeah. And then...
I think Manta for sure.
Okay.
Is really, really good this game. I mean, you're going to get the Orchids from Quap that can get you out. You're going to definitely want to be able to get out of the tree, Overgrowth, things like that. So I would definitely say the Manta.
Speaking of the Orchid from the Queen of Pain, I mean, Quickfoot should have it pretty soon. I think, if not already. The Oblivion Staff is only 1,600, I think, and the recipe is 700, so he's pretty much there. So T-Taker will have that for them in just a moment. Swindle now with a Bracer, so Swindle's got to transition into Drum, I think. I hope.
Yeah, this late of a Drum would seem kind of weird to stand alone, so yeah, I would assume Drums. I think his whole route this game just needs to be built as super tanky as possible with no damage items. Like, let the damage come from the rest of his team. Let him just try to soak up as much of the gank as he can before he dies to give his team time to maybe get some spells off.
Maybe like an early BKB then for the sniper?
Honestly, yeah. Early BKB into Manta.
Fly, top lane. Oh, way 2 walked in. They saw him immediately. Nice counter initiation coming out. Squee with that Hex, that instant Hex as well. Highlight Eye, Ice Path, just the tip, actually misses. Ziz is going to chase him down Kinetic Field, but Ziz gets the double kill. Gets back up to 2.2k gold after just finishing up that Battle Fury. He'll have his Yasha if he wants it, and he's going to try to take down the Tier 1 tower as well. Team Tinker, they can't really fight. I think they can fight, but like, Ziz is just doing so much work right now, and not only that, but his team play with the rest of CompLexity has been super solid.
Yeah, they've been playing really nicely, actually, in these games, considering what happened. Ziz is getting so much farm. I really approve of the Battle Fury build. I think it was great. They're going to glyph mid, actually perhaps on the Bulba. They don't get the deny, unfortunately, but they did at least use the glyph and stall him a little bit. I think the right play there from Team Tinker actually would have been, as soon as that first hero died, rush towards Roshan. They had mid and bottom pushed out. They had a Vlad's purchased on black, which is going to help yourself and your Spiderlings take it really quickly, so I think that actually would have been the play, but there might be a kill actually on a sniper. Perhaps with this Dagon. Oh, it's actually going to be on Ziz.
This could be huge. The Sonic Wave, the Orchid is up, and he's going to live for the time being, but he goes down. I think the Soulburn might have gotten him, and it was actually Boba. Can't get up to the high ground now. The Assassinate, the Shrapnel is still doing work. Boba's chasing after Swindle. He hides in the trees. The Assassinate will fly. Koikba thought he was scot-free, but he wasn't. Gets shot down. Pew Pew says the sniper. Up to the high ground is Boba, trying to get his way out of here. He actually will spot out the Ancients. Now gets pinged away. There is that Radiant Observer Ward. They really can't get to him. They don't have much of a gap close. Even with Z-Freak's Icarus dive, Boba's just too far away at this point.
Speaking of Roche, he says he doesn't need his team, and he actually just going in there solo with the fresh Yasha, with the living armor too, and is actually taking it out ridiculously fast with that Quelling Blade. So he picks up the Aegis, 1845, and definitely a nice exchange there for Team Tinker. And the fact that it was really unfortunate that Koikba just happened to blink in the way that they had a ward, because if he didn't, I don't think that Sniper gets that vision to be retained to get that ulti off. It was really, if he like blinked upwards to the right, I think he lives, but the fact that, I don't know if he probably pinged out that ward, because I'd be pretty pissed if I was in his position.
I mean, and you have to know that with Broodmother, there's an increased likelihood that that ward is placed, so...
Sure, yeah.
I don't think it's, they can't counter it now. It's about to expire in 8 seconds, so much for that, but...
They see Bulba here, too, because they not only have the sentry there, but they also have the vision, which is just about to fade, so... They know he's there. Are they going to go on him? There's 4 heroes down here in the jungle.
Oh boy, Swindle, please, man. Don't get caught again. Swindle's like, he's just skirting the line. He's trying to find any potential way to not die. And he's done a nice job the past couple of minutes here. He hasn't died. He's going to get Drum. Maybe an early BKB. Got to come out soon. Now Team Tinker with this Aegis, though, they have a bit more room to work with. They have that Orchid on the Queen of Pain. Maybe she goes for a BKB or an Aghanims. We'll see what Collector wants to pick up. Maybe even like Yules. Yules is done for Pilot Eye. He like rushed that. He went boots and straight up Yules. He didn't buy anything else really except for a couple of wards here or there.
That's kind of interesting. I mean, it's really good against Jug to kind of self-Yules yourself, obviously, but I mean, what else would it be if you're not self-using? Anyway. Yeah, no, it's good. I thought they would have put more farm under the tree and gone for like an Axe or something. The problem here for CompLexity is if you look at the net worth, the disparity between Juggernaut and the rest of the team is very, very large. Oh, Pink Panda, wait till he's going to cancel the TP of Ziz.
Yeah, Ziz is maybe in trouble. There's a lot of heroes coming out. Maybe that was kind of a bait if you think about it. Ice Path, they don't see Bubble, now they do the Omni/Bubble. It's like, what have I gotten myself into? I'm dead, so is way too. Pilot Eye's running for his life on the backside. Black does get the kill on. The Sniper gets another one with the Sonic Wave of Koifa onto the Phoenix. Turns actually into a 2-for-2. Two separate fights. Both kind of spread apart. CompLexity gets some big kills, but so do the side of Team Tinker with Black getting involved.
Yeah, I think that was really good by the support play of CompLexity to stand behind Juggernaut long enough until he actually TP'd out. Maybe they were anticipating going for him. Actually, Black could be in some trouble. He might lose his Aegis at best here. I don't know if they kill him twice, though. Oh, he actually used the Ice Path, so I don't think they kill him twice.
Koifa is going to Orchid up on Squeak, blinks away. Ziz is going to try to run back in. Now Black pops the Manta. He's going to fight Fly. That's the target he wants. He doesn't have Mana Boy to get this kill. Is he going to man up on Ziz? Ziz completely out of mana now, getting chased down. Meanwhile, Squeak has been left to his own devices. He is the martyr coming out for CompLexity. He will at least save the rest of his comrades as they back away, get towards the base. But that is an Aegis down, and Black does need to be a bit more careful from now on.
Yeah, I think that Team Tinker are totally fine, though, losing the Aegis. Like, Anti-Mage is one of those heroes that you don't usually use the first Aegis that you get, anyway. Like, by that time, you still have plenty of items to get, and you have tons of room for growth. Like, you have the Manta that just picked up, you can get the Heart. You really want these big items before you actually threaten to push high ground with an Aegis anyway, so I think it's totally fine for Team Tinker.
Yeah, and back and forth we go. I mean, CompLexity, they at least get something out of that. They get the Aegis. But it feels like the later this game goes, maybe the harder this game gets for CompLexity. Maybe I'm not. I guess maybe they do have the Sniper to come through as well. I just really don't know who could take this late. I feel like Black with Anti-Mage, he gets around the 40-minute mark, and he's like 6 slotted, and then all of a sudden this game gets really hard. Bobo maybe has a couple of items as well, but I feel like the Sniper might be the bigger problem on the side of CompLexity if he gets farmed, which doesn't seem to be the case.
He's just, if anything, it's not only just the fact that he's dying and not progressing his own farm, but he's becoming a liability to his team too, because he's feeding so many kills that Team Tinker's just getting so much gold off of him. So it's two things at the same time. I mean, look at his net worth. It's just, it's very, very pitiful. I don't know how much more he can take of this before Team Tinker just get a huge surge of items and then actually take the high ground. Like I said, I think it's going to be like Heart on AM or whatever he wants. Probably Heart. Take the next Aegis, and then I think they can actually push high ground from there.
So they'll wait. They'll split up the map. They'll farm a bit more. Ziz is now... We talked about how fast of a start he had, but it's so hard to keep pace with an Anti-Mage because of Blink. Even with Mom, you just don't move this fast. You don't farm as efficiently as an Anti-Mage, and not many do, if at all.
Right.
So Black is just... He's up to 3K already. We'll see if he buys anything here. Nothing just yet. Meanwhile, mid lane. And you talked about Swindle being a liability. He's not dead yet. He's going to get out of the actual silence. Static Storm not doing enough, and maybe they get the kill on Pilot Die. Maybe not that liability that we were talking about. Sunray's going to keep him up and ready to go. Black will blink away. He actually had living armor as well. So they turned the fight around. They kind of baited Swindle there, and he is going to be picking up an Ogre Club. Stays alive. He's just... It's such a tough game, but at least he lives.
Nice restraint there from Ziz, actually, too. Like, the second the Manta came out from AM, he realized it was a kind of a mistake, and he ran away. Ziz had actually potential to maybe get a couple of ticks of his ult off, but he thought better of it and actually cancels the animation. So, nice restraint from him. They're maybe pressuring bottom. They know that Bulba's down here, doesn't have a TP. He's actually just spamming his webs to try to get all the way around to maybe go purchase a TP in the side shop. But no, this is going to TP up top, actually. Man fight!
Oh my god, this is maybe not the man fight you were looking for. Ziz Black gets the Mana Void off. Oh my god, there was some damage exchange there. See you later, Ziz. Dear lord.
That was the Mom extra damage from that Mana Void. And the fact that he went for the Manta too also, you know, increases stats too. So that means that that's more damage from the Mana Void that you would otherwise take. I'm not saying that the Manta was a mistake by all means. It was amazing to pick up, but that just sucks that you took that. I didn't actually think it would take that much damage, but that just shows you that, what is it, plus 30%? Yeah, 30% extra damage from Mask of Madness.
Not great. That mom.
Oh no, sniper.
Good. Swindles. He's gonna have to do some Houdini shit to get out of this one. Meanwhile, Black does get the kill online. They will get a tower. Ice Path, the macro power. That's the Houdini shit we were looking for. Kinetic Field's gonna miss, but here's Koifa with a haste from Sonic Wave. You weren't Houdini enough. I'm sorry, Sniper. Glimpse back in onto Fly. There's the Shadow Strike as well. Black jumps in the right click. Fly, you're dead. No way you're TPing out. Team Tinker suddenly take a 4-1 lead here in this fight, and they're going to get all 5 of them as well. All 5 dead on the dirt. Team Tinker now with a huge lead, and they'll get more than just those kills. They'll probably secure this tier 2 tower as well. What a disastrous engagement coming out from the CompLexity squad.
I hate to say it, and I don't like to say these things, but I feel like CompLexity as a team is playing extremely well, but I feel like the sniper is just so much of a liability. I feel like he's just playing way too far up. I feel like he's getting caught way too often. And if he wasn't in the bad position that he is in this game, I think that CompLexity have a great shot. They're playing really well with what they're given. Ziz has got so much farm. They actually have decent farm on their support Jakiro too, and he totally saved the sniper. You were talking about Houdini plays. That was a really nice save by Fly there with the nice ice path where it needed to happen. So I just think the sniper needed to play it way cooler and play way further back and just. I know he wants to try to get as much farm, and maybe he's thinking, well, we have to take risks because we're behind. But I don't think they were that far behind. Like I know they are now. But before, when Ziz had as much farm as he did, I think they were actually in an okay spot.
There was a point where they were only about 5,000 net worth behind, and then they got caught in a couple of bad engagements. They lost Roche. Swindle died a couple more times. He's now up to 8 deaths. And it just keeps getting worse and worse, and he might die here again. Z-Freak's nearby, but I don't really think he can save Swindle. Swindle's getting body blocked. He's getting surrounded by these freaking Spiderlings. He will clean them up, but Pilot is going to come in. He's going to throw up the Static Storm. Z-Freak is dead. That Dakin comes out the lead sheet as well. Bulba's going to jump in. He throws up the spawn Spiderlings. Bulba does have boots, but he's still pretty damn slow. Swindle's going to get jumped on by the AM, who pops his Flutter. The Mana Void kills him, glimpses back in onto the Treant. And it's just that type of game. It's not going great. Meanwhile, Koifa and Ziz going to go toe-to-toe. Sonic Wave on cooldown, but now there's the Omni Slash. He blinks away. He actually gets out of it. Another blink from Black to stay alive, and Ziz now is going to Blade Fury and TP as well. Mana Void, not there. Black doesn't have it. And so it will actually only turn into a 3 for nothing, but this does lead the way open towards the tier 3 tower. Maybe a Rax. We'll see. Maybe just the tier 3.
Yeah, if he just killed the hero down there without using the Mana Void with the Glimpse, he would have had that Mana Void up, but wanted to get the extra gold for himself, that greedy bastard.
The chaos.
But he does have, my god, he's so farmed now. I mean, he's got a full Butterfly and another 2,700 gold, so that's in the means towards I mean, usually if you get Butterfly, you kind of want to get Heart too, just because that means you're super tanky with extra HP and evasion. And then you can swap out, of course, the Vlads later for an Abyssal. That's what my guess is, but I don't think it matters. The fact is that he's ridiculously farmed. Team Tinker in a great spot.
And really all they need to do is take this Roche, what you talked about, and maybe take a fight and take high ground. That's really the goal for Team Tinker. If they let it go on any longer, Swindle, who I don't think this will happen, somehow gets farmed miraculously and then becomes a force to be reckoned with. That doesn't seem to be the case. They are smoked up. He kind of went off on his own, and that might be him dying. If Bulba does scout him out, he's going to scout him out. Bulba actually blinks away. He's scared, and rightfully so. They're all missing off the map. Now they're going to get spotted out. Z-Freak's going to get spotted on the low ground. Pops the dust. I don't think he does hit Bulba, but he's pretty far away. Swindle now out of position. Orchid it up. The Sonic Wave going through as well. They might get Koifa. The Overgrowth's going to fly. Squeak chasing after Koifa. He might stay alive. On the backside of this, they do lose the Phoenix as well. And somehow Koifa gets out. Another Houdini type play, but then again, he is Queen of Pain. He has the blink. Living Armor, they have vision. There's Radiant Wards all over the damn place. Koifa needs to be careful. Fly's chasing after him. The Yules has come out, and Koifa maybe made a mistake. He is going to go down the... No, he's not going to go down. All right, the last tick of whatever it was killed him. I thought for sure he was going to die inside of that Ice Path Macro Pyre, but they do end up getting the kill. The rest of Team Tinker don't seem to mind. They say, listen, we're going to take Roche, and we'll get back into whatever we were doing a second ago.
And Black's already into the point where he's going to sell his Vlads. He puts his Vlads on the courier, takes the Aegis. He actually takes the Basher instead of the Heart, so he's full out all aggression. I mean, it doesn't really matter, like I was saying. You can go whatever red he wants. He can go Dagon 5 and it won't matter. The fact is he's just so farmed and he has the Aegis now to boot. I mean, look at the net worth. He's literally just about 4 times the net worth of Sniper.
Oh boy.
I know you can't really compare the mid laner to the safe lane anti-mage, but it's still just to put in perspective how farmed he is and how complexity you're lacking.
That is ridiculous. And at this point, I think the Basher is because he knows that they really can't kill him. I mean, Spell Shield is enough of a resistance that the damage coming out from Jakiro and Phoenix don't matter. Squee maybe with the finger and an Omni Slash coming out. Maybe that's how they get the kill, but even with an Omni Slash, I'm not sure. And now, Team Tinker are kind of just making their home around this mid lane. Quakeful will respawn here in just a second. Black's pushing out top. There's no tier 2s left in the map to take if you're Team Tinker, and this has been such a good game 1 for them. We talked about how well Complexity played. The Sniper pick either wasn't the right choice or he's just playing too aggressively. Z-Freak top lane? Alright, no, nothing's going on. Okay, never mind.
I mean, the great thing about Dota is that it's easy to kind of see the trickle effect of, like, how did we get into this position? Hold that thought, actually, because Black, he uses the Flutter to get away just a little bit faster. Perhaps came into play one of those few times that Flutter actually does help you, but it is an effective ability. But cool thing about Dota is it's easy to see that trickle effect. Like, how did we get to this point? Like, why was it so bad? And it really comes back to the fact that Sniper died mid 1v1 very early on. I mean, that starts the snowball effect for a hero like Quap, who really needs that. I mean, we talk a lot about how Quap is one of those heroes that if he doesn't get that, she doesn't get that great start, or that, you know, if you're seeing like a 24-minute Orchids, she just doesn't have that effect onto a game that she would if she had like a 15-minute Orchids, which was relatively what she had. I think it was like 16 and a half, 17 minutes, which is still pretty good.
I mean, what they did with the Sniper is that they created space for Team Tinker. I mean, they kind of made the rest of Complexity scared. Although Complexity did stand toe-to-toe with Team Tinker for a while, it just seems as if it was too many kills on too many different heroes. I don't want to single out the Sniper specifically, but it's really been a rough game for him. And so for now, Team Tinker, they still have top lane Quake for farming it up. Black's got to try to push in mid, maybe pop his Manta, wait for the creep wave first and foremost, and force out a Glyph. Force out some TP rotations. That's exactly what's happening. They glimpse Ziz, but he does pop the Blade Fury nicely timed, and that's you have to take that risk sometimes, I suppose. Meanwhile, the Hex up onto Flow. Bulba, they actually miss. Jumping from way to the Blink, Overgrowth, the Dagon. We'll see you later, Lion. Oh no. Now Highlight Eye jumps in, Yules is up as well. Static Storm, Kinetic Field onto 2, but where's the follow-up? They do get the Phoenix ulti off. Black's nowhere near, neither is Koikfa. They're fighting with supports now for Team Tinker. It's the supports and the offlaner. That's really who's going toe-to-toe. Now finally Black walks back mid with a DD nonetheless.
And an Abyssal. He can solo, watch this. Do you see that?
Oh, no, I didn't, but I really wish I did. I caught the tail end of him dying. That's all I needed to know. I thought he was going mid for a second, then he went top instead. No, that's all right. I'm so used to Pip at this point that... My apologies, everyone.
I should have said exactly where he was. I couldn't say the hero name fast enough, but that's how fast he died. We hit a DD plus Abyssal. There's an ulti from the Quap. Take out the Sniper. Easy kill for him. He takes out the Rax, by the way, in a blink of an eye. Godlike here for Black. They're brushing the well. It's a GG coming out from Swindle Melons. And it's going to be what looked like to be... Oh, very nice ulti there, actually, from Ziz to get that kill. But it's going to be an easy Team Tinker victory here.
That was just a clinic put on by Quake for early, and really good rotations from the rest of the Tinker squad. And not only that, Black, obviously, when he gets that hero and he gets room to work with, that's exactly what he can accomplish. Blowing up heroes left and right without any issues whatsoever. 851 GPM, a lot of that coming at the end of the game, obviously. And it's not like Ziz was slouching. 689 GPM for the Juggernaut. That is not bad whatsoever, but Team Tinker just seeming to outclass Complexity here in this first game, at least later on down the road. Complexity with a very solid team play, but it just wasn't enough. We'll have to see what they do in game number 2, Tralf. I feel like they maybe need to not go for Sniper, or at least pick a lot of better suited to help him survive.
I think Sniper is okay. They just, again, it's not all his fault as far as dying early on. Like, obviously you don't want to die, you shouldn't die. But it can happen just because, like I said, Quap is better in the first couple of levels against Sniper. She just is. I mean, she just has way more damage. The Shrapnel is unimpressive until you hit level 3. And that's I mean, that's exactly when Quap capitalized and got the kill. So I think the sniper pick was okay. They just needed to either A, protect him, B, not die to the Quap, and then I think after that point, he, like I said, he was just probably thinking, we're down way too much. I need to take risks and farm where I probably shouldn't be farming so that I can, if they don't punish me, then that's our ticket maybe into the game. But it can be argued that he didn't need to take those risks just because this was extremely farmed.
Yeah. And
their team fight was actually quite impressive too, but maybe in the end it didn't really matter just because Black was just ridiculously farmed. I know we don't have the stats, man, but I imagine there's some kind of record there.
Yeah. He was looking pretty good there at the end of that game. He's sitting at 901-3, 851 GPM. With that being said, again, this is Maut, and of course, Tralf with you here for iLeague qualifiers. It's the best of 3 series. CompLexity looking to come back into the second game. We'll take a quick break. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.